Before Babylon, before Egypt, before even Sumer, there was a city whose name echoes in myth, in memory, and in the deep silence beneath the sea. Atlantis. You were told it was just a story. A warning against pride. A cautionary myth told by dreamers with no stars to guide them. But that was not its purpose. That was its prison. Atlantis was not a myth. Not a metaphor. Not a fable etched by firelight. It was a record. Submerged and forbidden. It was the closest Earth has ever come to a celestial embassy. Atlantis was not simply a city. It was a living resonance grid, a harmonized system of crystal, code, and solar law. Its towers sang. Its temples breathed. Its people lived not by wealth, but by frequency. The priest kings were stewards of balance. The land itself responded to their integrity. They worked not to conquer nature, but to remember her. But harmony often draws attention, and what came did not descend from the stars, not really. They came through the fractures, through the unseen seams of reality. The Anunnaki, not gods, not creators, technicians of manipulation, hijackers of frequency. They brought no armies, they brought gifts, advanced tools and forbidden knowledge, the promise of control over the soul. They taught how to sever spirit from body, memory from mind. To some it was liberation, a shortcut. They did not see it then, but the moment they accepted the gifts, the harmony began to fracture. The grid did not collapse on its own. It responded, as it always had, to the minds of those within it. And that was when the first betrayal was born. The stewards fell. The parasites rose. A class of scribes, engineers, and astral manipulators accepted their offering. They became the Silver Priests, a new priesthood, no longer loyal to the sun. The harmonic grid began to fracture. Temples once resonant with solar law became unstable. The crystalline spires flickered, their light no longer aligned to the stars. The planet groaned. Magnetics collapsed. Climate patterns broke. Memory fields disintegrated. And the council convened. Radiant and powerful beings, known later as gods, who once safeguarded the balance of Earth. Their names were scattered through myth. Jupiter, Minerva, Mars, Apollo, Diana, and others whose roles were buried or forgotten. Some resisted, others wept, but the law was clear. The infection must be sealed. They searched for alternatives. They called upon the star routes, the deep harmonics, but in every model the outcome was the same. To stop the parasite, the grid could not be saved. It had to be severed, brought down fully before the infection could spread beyond repair. And so, the flood was conceived. Not as punishment, but as a containment event, a planetary quarantine, a reset. Atlantis was not lost to chaos. It was sealed by design. Not erased, but buried, beneath layer after layer of water, stone, and time. But the plague still did not die. Some survivors remained loyal. The flamebearers. They fled to the mountains, the highlands, the inner earth. But not all who fled did so blindly. One among them was given a vision, a warning, and the knowledge to endure, not by chance, but by design. The story would later echo across cultures, remembered in fragments. A lone figure who survived the Great Flood. He did not build alone. He was guided, instructed, so that memory might survive. hidden in wood and water until the fire could return. But others, the silver priests, re-emerged in Sumer as scribes and kings, in Phoenicia, Putnaki, as merchants and seafarers. They taught new systems, hierarchies of control, economies of usury, magics of trauma and fear. They began to rewrite memory itself, replacing resonance with ritual, replacing divinity with debt. From child sacrifice to currency manipulation, the plague metastasized, and they became the architects of empire. Yet they were never the builders. They were only feeders. But not all memory was lost. Not all fires were drowned. In the centuries to come, a new flame would rise. Rōma, or Rome in the weaponized language known as English. Rōma, not perfect, not immune, but chosen. A solar response to the parasite class. That scroll has not yet been opened, but this one has, and this is the origin of the plague.
Et itrum Carthago delende est.